guys, it's Nikicia and welcome to another episode of Nikicia Speaks. This is number 11. Woo! So happy. Okay, so today's episode is going to be about, excuse that noise, there's somebody walking above my head right now. Sorry. So today's episode is going to be about you know, it's going to be about putting yourself first and why that is so very important. Yesterday I was doing some reading in that I Am That Girl book by Alexis Jones, and I've been so busy and caught up with doing other business stuff that I haven't been able to just sit down and do some more reading. But I actually had a little bit of, I made time yesterday and I sat down and I read into the second, I'm still in the first part of the book, but I'm in like the second, third chapter of it right now. And she made a very good point about, she was in a relationship with her boyfriend in high school, and her boyfriend was leaving for the summer in order to like travel around Europe and do some snowboarding, and she felt so hurt by that the fact that he was leaving. And he had asked her a question, and he had asked her, what he asked her was, what makes you happy? And she was kind of shocked by that, but you know, she didn't answer the question. But if she had answered the question, she said that the answer would have been you, her boyfriend. And it was then that she realized that she didn't have an identity without him, and that this trip was a good thing for her so she could find her identity without her boyfriend. And for many of us, that has been something that has been real, that has been true, that we have all gone through. Going through, you know, putting people first. We've always been told that we should think of others, and usually that we should think of others before we think of ourselves, because we're taught that we shouldn't be selfish, we shouldn't be, you know, self-centered and conceited, and that's seen as, if we care too much about ourselves, we're seen as shallow. And that's not necessarily true. It's true for people who do it for vain reasons. You know, people who do it just, they care only about themselves for vain reasons. There is a thing of being the good kind of selfish, and the good kind of selfish is caring about your wants and your needs and your happiness before you begin to try to take care of somebody else's. And you know, you become miserable when you shut off your identity, your personality, and who you really are in order to appease other people. And now I know this firsthand because it is something that I did when I was growing up. I felt that what I want and what I needed wasn't important. You know, my wants, my desires, and the things that made me happy wasn't important. So I did what I thought was necessary, in that putting other people's feelings, emotions, wants, needs, and happiness before my own was better. And the only thing that it made me feel was misery. It was like, no matter what I did to try to make someone else happy, they either weren't happy or I wasn't happy. And I couldn't live like that anymore. I was very miserable at the age of 17. And you know, usually your teen years are, you're supposed to be having like the time of your life and being like having fun with your friends and, you know, focusing on school and all that other stuff. But you know, I was just too busy trying to help everyone else be happy, help everyone else get what they wanted and what they needed, that I wasn't able to fully develop my own wants and needs until I was out of high school and thrusted into the adult world. And even then, I was still trying to focus on giving everybody else what they wanted from me, how they wanted me to act, how they wanted me to be, you know, live up to that image that everyone else wants for me. instead of looking at the image that I want for myself. Living like that it's not fun. It's actually, it's a horrible way to live. It's very miserable. And I did not want to be selfish because I thought that being selfish was it was shallow and vain. And I felt that I wouldn't be able to achieve the things that I wanted. You know, I would hurt people if I was selfish. But I was thinking about the bad kind of selfish. I'm talking about the good kind of selfish. The good kind of selfish is putting your wants and needs and your happiness before someone else's. And that's not necessarily meaning you're gonna, you know, kill, steal, and destroy other people or other people's dreams and other people's wants and needs before you get, you know, in order for you to get what you want. No, it's sitting down and taking a moment and not stressing. So if you're at work and, you know, you have a big project for your boss and your boss keeps calling you and asking you, can you stay after work? Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And it's affecting you so much that it's causing a big strain on your social relationships, like with your friends, relationship with your family. You know, you can't hang out with your family and spend that quality time with them. Or if it's affecting your romantic relationships where you're always canceling on dates, then that is a good time to be selfish, because life is all about having a good work-life balance. Being able to do what you do for a living in order to support yourself, but to also be able to enjoy your life outside of what you do for a living. You know, some people are entrepreneurs, like myself, and it gets to the point where it becomes overwhelming, especially with the amount of, because I am, you know, the owner of my own company, I'm the head of everything. So, you know, I have to be a part of everything. And it's difficult sometimes because I get caught up doing a whole bunch of other work stuff that I forget about my social life. I forget about, you know, socializing with my friends and, you know, socializing with my family, and even, you know, socializing with myself while I'm just in my, like, reading or doing some things that I love to do. And I just get too focused on work and I get drained. It is moments like these when you have something in your life that is basically taking up all of your time, that when you should start to be that good kind of selfish. You know, if your boss calls you and asks you to do some other project, or, you know, if they call you at night, because I had that issue before when I used to have a job. My supervisor would call me and ask me for, you know, to do projects over the weekend. Now, I had the weekends off, and I would get calls at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, you know, asking me about stuff, and it wasn't a regular thing. But I feel like if it was a regular thing, I would probably have to ask them, you know, not to call me after a certain time, because that's the time in which I spend with my family, and I would like to keep my focus on my family. And a lot of people deal with that issue. They don't have that good work-life balance where their work kind of dominates the rest of their life, and they don't know how to handle that situation. They don't know how to separate the two. And when it comes to being that good kind of selfish, it's taking the time to do what you want to do. So we get mad and we get upset when we make plans for our social time, or, you know, things that make us happy, and we get mad at the other person for making us cancel so that we can help them do something. People can't make you do anything you don't want to do. If you didn't want to already do it, you wouldn't have canceled. And it's that whole putting people before your own wants and needs. If you had something planned and you were really looking forward to it, you know, sometimes it's hard to say no to the people you love, but it's very, very necessary for you to say no. It's okay. You can say no. You could be like, no, I can't help you with that. I'm sorry. I'm doing XYZ. When you learn to take time for yourself, even if it's just 10 extra minutes in the morning without, waking up and directly checking your email for stuff that happened at work, or, calling, or, handling stuff for your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your friends or your family, or doing stuff for them, just taking that time for yourself to just sit down and read a good book, or, watch a little television, or, dance around and listen to music. Taking that time for yourself is very important. Putting your own wants and needs before other people, because you have to take care of yourself first before you can adequately take care of someone else. That was another lesson that I had to learn, that I can't fully help other people and give other people something that I don't have. If I don't have within me the strength to take care of myself, then I can't give that strength to someone else. Constantly giving and giving and giving and giving of who you are, it takes a toll on you. You become weaker. It's like your energy is drained when you're constantly giving out. It's okay to take. It's okay to take some time for yourself where you're just like, I'm not helping anybody today. It's not mean, it's not rude, and it's not, shallow or conceited when you say, I need some me time. I need some time for me to think about what I want to do. If you hate your job, that taking that time to think about, okay, I have these skills, I can do this, this, and this. I hate my current job. Where can I go where I can love what I do and be happy and still have that work-life balance? So being able to take that me time, that space, and just think solely about you and your personal growth and your success, it makes so much difference. Because when you come back and you help and you begin to start helping people again, you have a much more upbeat attitude about it, and it doesn't feel like a chore when you want to help other people. It feels like the right thing to do. And it's okay to say no if you don't want to help somebody. They're not going to get pissed at you, the world's not going to explode, or some other crazy worst case scenario. If you don't want to help somebody with something, that's totally fine. They can probably figure out how to do it on their own, or they'll just ask somebody else. But most people come to you first if you always say yes, because you always say yes. So, it's important to learn to say no. That's number one. It's important for you to take that me time, to take that time out of your day, whether it's an hour or 2 hours, just for you to just be by yourself and do some real thinking or some real relaxing. If you've done enough thinking and you have like a me time every single day, you don't have to have like an hour to just continuously think about your life. You can just, for an hour, do your nails, read a book, watch a TV show, watch some YouTube videos, learn how to do something new. So whatever it is that relaxes you and calms you and, fuels your passion. Most people get a hobby. You could do that as well. But taking that time for yourself is important, especially if you're an extremely giving person and you're always helping people. It's important for you to take some me time. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will give you guys some more clear instructions in my blog. So check that out. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And I hope you guys have a nice day. Bye.